Carbuncle. He's the chef. Welcome again. We have a lot to talk about. We have the Yankees, the Mets, Ohtani, the Dodgers. So let's go. Let me start with the Yankees because I know they're your favorite team.
Yeah, something like that.
Listen, they've surprised me. I thought when they lost Cole, I thought they were in bad trouble. But the pitching has held up. This guy Hill, I don't know where he came from, but the pitching has been terrific. Soto's been terrific. Then Baltimore. Who else in the American League? Maybe Houston comes on. Maybe Texas. I don't know. But they're the cream of the American League right now. Yeah.
I'd probably say Cleveland is the best there, but Yankees are definitely up there.
I think Cleveland may have a better record. I'm not sure, but the Yankees have a better team. And they get Cole coming back.
Yeah.
So that's a big
You didn't mention Volpe and that whole thing. He's on a 21-game hitting streak.
Yeah.
It's really remarkable. I agree. Like when Cole went down and had a little bit of a comeback after that hot start, you said, okay, now it's going to settle in. But the Yankees are playing well. You can't dispute it.
Every aspect of their game has been strong.
Yeah.
So we give them credit. Now, on the other hand, if we go to Flushing Bay, and Flushing may be the operative word there,
Right down the toilet.
the
and flush.
New York Metropolitans. Oh my goodness, great! They're just coming off a 3-game debacle against the Dodgers, right?
Yeah, it did not
Go ahead.
go well.
Tell me what you think about it.
They've won, 9 out of their last 34 at this point? I mean, they're just really not playing very good baseball at all. We have all this so-called talent on the roster, and no one's performing. We're just not a team, a very good team at least.
Yeah, the pitching's come down, back down. It had a good start there. The numbers aren't good. The bullpen is blowing games. Diaz, who knows what happened with him? He's back to the first-year Diaz. The team is not there. I don't even think the word is underperforming. I think that they don't have a passion, and I don't think the talent level is there. I think that they're just not as good. I think McNeil is showing his vulnerabilities, and he's just a lot wrong with the team.
Yeah, there is. I kind of like your manager, to be honest with you. I like Mendoza. I like the way he stands up like yesterday after the game. He stood up and said, "That's not acceptable." He says, "I'm going to talk to him about it." He seems to make the right moves. I just don't think he has the horses, like you were saying. So come July, we're trading. We're trading everybody.
I think that's not an overreaction at this point. I mean, if you said that 2 weeks ago, I might have said it's a little bit of an overreaction. But I mean, look at the way this team played against the San Francisco Giants. Even they're not a good team, a pretty decent team, average team, and they just look like a little league team out there compared to those guys. Mike Yastrzemski was batting .208. He had 3 hits against them.
Yeah, they're. I like McGill. And I think Peterson can be good. Some of this pitching is pretty good.
The young guy is going tonight.
Scott, yeah, we like Scott. And the catcher Alvarez, I know he's hurt.
Yeah.
Other than that, make me an offer.
Yeah.
And I thought I was one of the ones who thought they were going to sign Alonso long term. No way. There is
I was
no
right
way.
with you there. Yeah.
I think that's panning out now. It's making I think what Stearns, wants to put his imprint on this team. And I think he was kind of boxed in a little bit with Alonso. And now I think that with the performance of the team in general, I think he's got a free reign. I think he always had free reign. I think it makes his job easier now for him. But the problem with the Mets is that come time, if they're not performing, they're not going to get any value back, and they may not get any takers. And I don't know how much of the money Cohen wants to eat on this go around. That's right now one of the differences between the Mets under Wilpon and Mets under Cohen, right? Is that he's got the ability to underwrite mistakes and get rid of them. But everything else, absent of the money, this looks like a Wilpon era Met team.
I think they'll get something for Alonso.
Mm-hmm.
Won't be the haul that we thought maybe they were going to get a year ago, but they'll get prospects for Alonso. I think maybe for Marte. Something for him. I don't know about McNeil. To be honest.
No, his contract's bad. I don't think he's in oblivion. Like, does he hit for power? Is he average? Is he? He's not even hitting. It's yeah. I don't expect much.
Yeah,
I'm with you there. Yeah, and the fans are out of it now too.
Mhm.
We're all angry. When I went to the game the other day, this was a Friday night home game, prime time. The stadium was not even half filled.
that's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
They got 28,000 against the Dodgers.
I was looking at some tickets to go with a few friends in about a week and a half. Mets Marlins divisional game. I found tickets for $8, section 302.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Wow.
$8 tickets.
Wow.
And sure, was it a great deal? Yeah, but that should not be happening.
No.
You look at Dodgers tickets. Do you think the Dodgers are selling $8 tickets anywhere in their stadium?
I don't think you can go see the Long Island Ducks for $8.
Yeah.
All right, so I think Severino will bring you back some prospects, right? Because pitching always brings a better return than
Possibly, but remember, he's only on a 1-year deal, so
that's right. So
Rental.
it's a rental.
That
But
could be
that's okay.
that's advantageous to some people.
you could sell him
And
to a
that's
team.
right. That is advantageous. They're not tied into long-term money, and you got 3 wild cards now.
Mm.
You get a team that's close, maybe a little over 500, and one pitcher can put them over.
That is true.
They'll
That's a
pay
good point.
for it. So I think that's. I don't know. Other than that, I don't know what to say. I texted you guys a week or 2 ago. They're hard to watch.
Mhm.
I root for them to win, but she's a little bit. It's just.
I haven't really, admittedly, I haven't watched a game in like a week and a half.
Yeah.
I've been busy, but still, it's not. It doesn't
It's not
capture you.
compelling,
Yeah, it's not capturing me to want to see it.
Get it.
I could take a losing team if they're trying, and it just the optics here is just, I don't know. They get very frustrated, and it's a bad look.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
a bad look.
And speaking of optics, last night, in case you missed it, Jorge Lopez decided to throw his glove into the stands, and then say twice that the Mets were the worst team in Major League Baseball. And Stearns, to his credit, immediately designated him for assignment. And I think I was watching the Met postgame show, and the guy said, "This is rock bottom." I hope it is rock bottom, because then it'll mean that they'll come back up.
Oh, what's below the rocks? So we
have to find.
We'll find that out.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But all right. So the Dodgers got well coming into Flushing. They're on a 5-game losing streak. Now they're on a 3-game winning streak.
I think every team on a losing streak
I'm
is
sorry,
looking
it's a
forward to playing
cure-all.
the Mets.
It's the prescription for good health. Let's play the Mets.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness. But I'll tell you something. I watched this Ohtani. I watch him every game, except in April when I was away. He hits the ball hard, man, to all fields. Even when he's already swung, he hit a home run to left field at City yesterday, and he had already committed his body to go to right field, and he just poked it and went out.
He's very
a big,
adjustable.
strong
Mhm.
guy, man.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely earning his contract that you paid him, even though he's not pitching. And he
Right.
will be pitching after this year.
Right.
Yeah,
Again.
he's-
So that's
he's come
gonna
along
raise
well.
his
Yeah.
value even more. But what's he batting, like 360 right now?
Yeah, he's
Hitting
he leads the
homers,
league in extra base
RBIs.
hits.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
he's a
clutch.
unicorn. He's truly a generational
He's
talent.
unbelievable. I mean, anyway, so that's it. I mean, Braves got a bad break.
Yeah,
Acuna again.
again.
Oh,
And even as a Mets fan, that hurts
You
me
don't
to
wanna see
see.
that.
This is the reigning NL MVP
Yeah.
who grows the game of baseball in his home country,
sure
and
does.
it's just fun to watch. Even as an opposing fan, you hate to see someone go down like that,
Yeah,
especially in the other knee. It was his bad knee. It
Right.
wasn't
Yeah.
even the knee that he
That's
hurt before.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe that's better though.
Now he's coming back with 2 bad knees. I hope he could be the same player. I really do.
Who knows? But that was terrible to see. But the Braves, man, they're deep, and that Anthopoulos, he's smart, So who knows? Maybe they'll make a deal.
They were able to win it without him, right?
Yeah,
That's when
they
the
could.
year they won the World Series is when he was out.
That's right.
Take Starling Marte. We don't want him.
Mhm.
And those Phillies are pretty good.
That's
They
the
are
other
very
thing.
good. I don't know how I feel about the Phillies. Does their record show they're a very good baseball team? Yes. And they are a pretty good baseball team, but they've only played 10 games against teams above 500. They haven't been
Okay.
tested yet.
Okay.
I'd like to see when they have a tough stands against teams like Cleveland, like the Dodgers. I want to see how they perform against teams like
That's a
that.
good point. And that's a fair point. Spoken like a Met fan.
Mhm.
But that is a good point, really. But you can only play who's in front of you.
That
right?
is true.
And,
You don't make the schedule.
They've done a great job at
Win
that.
baseball games.
Yeah, pitching is strong now.
Oh,
Bryce Harper
why do
too.
you guys
He's
let
having a
Lowe
good
Wheeler
year.
go? What's the matter with you?
They don't want to pay him.
I was one of the Mets
Oh,
fans
that was
saying,
dope.
extend him. He's good. He's young.
He was hurt a lot when he was with the Mets, to be fair.
But when he played, he showed.
Yeah, he did.
And
He was
clearly,
on the come that last year.
He was.
And he wanted to be here. He wanted to be with the
Did he?
Mets too. Oh yeah,
yep.
he definitely did. And then listen, he made his home in Philly, and good for him. He's a good player.
They got him, I think, for Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, that was the
That
deal.
was the Beltran deal. Okay, so what else do we got? Anything else?
We're about 55 games into the season. We have All-Star break coming in about a month and a half.
Right.
And Mets fans are already over with the season, so
Yeah,
nothing new,
That's
Let's
the
throw
wrong.
footballs around.
Even though I'm only 20 years, I've only seen 2015, the only really good Mets year. So besides that,
2 years ago, then.
All right.
2022.
101. They won
well,
100.
talking about World Series or bust,
Oh,
like
wow.
getting there.
You're gonna
A
bust.
good team, yeah. But so that means 19 out of the 20 years I've been a Mets fan, not so good. And I just hope it's not like this for the next 60 years of my life.
No. See, the advantage you have now is you have an owner who has money and is willing to
Mhm.
spend it, unlike those Wilpon years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. And a lot of money is coming off the books this year. So I think you're going to see an active off season for Cohen. I think they did well with the farm system. I think it's not as bereft of talent.
Yes.
So
Yes.
interesting consideration is Soto.
Mm.
Where he will go this next year, right? Yankees are going to make the run. They're going to try and keep him there for
Sure.
sure. The Mets are talking about giving him whatever it would take to come, and who knows? Maybe the Giants too are looking. They have
They can't get anybody to take
no, they
them
can't
on.
get anybody over there. But
Except
if
Blake
I'm
Snell.
Soto, I would need a lot to come to Queens. Especially with what the Yankees are doing this year.
Right.
And so the optics, the opportunity for the Mets to get him, I think is very low, even with all the money. But we'll see. I think for the Yankees, they got to enjoy this season. Don't worry about where he's going to go next year. He's here now, right? And that's
exactly right.
so that's all you got to do for the
Exactly
Yanks.
right. Go ahead.
I think I'm with you there. And personally, I don't really see Soto leaving the Yankees. I think he just fits in with that team. Like,
Mhm.
even coming from a Mets fan, like he looks good in a Yankees uniform. I feel like that's where he belongs, and he's showing that by his play.
He does everything you're saying is true, but what price glory?
Well, that's
And that'll become a question. If the Mets can make some trades at the deadline
Mhm.
and build up their farm system again with young talent, then it makes sense to make a run at Soto because he's 25.
Youngster,
So when these
yeah.
kids, he'll be in his prime when some of these kids come to the big leagues. Then I think it'll make sense. And I think he needs no more Verlander and Scherzer signings. You need to sign guys who you're going to have who complement the team you have now, can bring you to the next level.
What would you do at Lindor if you were the Mets GM?
I'd keep him. Listen, I think Lindor, I like him. In the last 2 years, look, he had 31 home runs, drove in 106 2 years ago, drove in 98 last year. He's a productive shortstop. He's not a leader. That's the end of the day. I mean, he's just not a leader. He said on the post game show that he hopes that Jorge feels different tomorrow. But if he doesn't, I still got his back. No, you don't have his back.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Anyway, that's my feeling. I think the future is brighter than you think.
I hope you're right.
Okay.
I hope you're right.
All right.
Years ago, I saw a cartoon opening day, right, and it was a satire, and it was of the Cubs. You know, they could have easily interchanged the Mets. This is before the Cubs won, but
Right.
it's they show a very heavy set fan opening day, and he screams out, "Wait until next year." So we're in June. Well, actually May, but wait until next year, unfortunately.
Well, on that note, the uncle, the carbuncle, and the chef. We'll see you next time.
See.